Well, hello again, Solis family. Greg Solis here with our market update. First of all, on the family front, you're not going to believe this. My baby, my daughter, Emily, turned 18 years old. Can you believe it? I have no more minor children anymore. Crazy stuff. We had a great time together. I had a great celebration. She was excited and been a little sentimental. Emily and I have been kind of the sentimental ones in the family, and her and I have been reflecting a lot. It's been kind of cool. And went out to a nice dinner, took some of her friends out. And one of the things that I've done for all my children since they were born is I wrote them a letter on their birthday, and a handwritten letter from dad, kind of giving them all the advice and wisdom and just how much I love them. And then I put them in a little binder. And so when Jack went away to college, for example, I gave him a binder with over 200 pages of letters from dad. And so it's pretty cool, pretty valuable. So I read Emily's letter at dinner, and her 18th letter, and it was pretty cool. So great celebration. Love Emily, proud of her. She's doing well. She's thriving. Nicole will be turning 21 on November 1st. She's actually going to be coming down for her birthday to celebrate her birthday, and she'll be at the client appreciation party. So you'll get to see Nicole at the client appreciation party. Hopefully you'll all be there, but we're excited to celebrate with her. Talking about celebration, as I mentioned, Monica and I did celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary. That was awesome. We actually went away to Fiji, just had a blast together. It really felt like a second honeymoon. So that was a great celebration as well. Of course, every time I leave, it seems like the markets drop. So the team here was saying, Greg, next time you leave town, maybe we ought to short the markets. It seems like every time I leave, things kind of go crazy. But speaking of the markets, continue to be very volatile. It's been a nutty time. We went down, we retested the lows, we broke through those lows. So peak to trough now, the S&P 500 down about 25%. The NASDAQ peak to trough down about 34%. But as I've mentioned, the worst part is the bond market. The bond market has just been creamed. The aggregate bond index, high quality bonds, down over 14% peak to trough. And the corporate bonds, high quality corporate bonds, down 18%. That is nutty. As a matter of fact, we had 3 quarters in a row where both the stock and bond market were down in these last 3 quarters that ended September 30th. That's the first time since 1976 that that's happened. Think about that. 187 quarters. And we have never had since 1976, 3 quarters in a row where both the stock and the bond market were down. This is bad. That's tough. This makes it really, really challenging. But we feel that things are starting to kind of bottom out. I know it takes a lot of patience. I know you hear me say this a lot, but it does appear as though things are beginning to bottom out. We're only 3 to 6 months away from probably the Fed being done with raising rates. The reason why we're going back down, inflation continues to be a problem. The Fed is raising rates aggressively. They're really, really committed to making sure that inflation doesn't get out of control, and they're trying to make sure that it comes down. We've been hovering right around that 8% on the consumer price index. We seem to have tapered. We are even coming down a little bit, but the employment numbers came out and they're still looking real strong. As a matter of fact, unemployment dropped 3.5%. That sounds like great news, right? Well, it's not, in that it's, of course, a tight labor market might be inflationary. So the Fed is just really committed to slowing things down, and that's just creating a tremendous amount of volatility in the market. But we do feel that potentially here there's some tailwinds that'll be coming up. We got the midterm elections that'll be over here real soon. Typically after we get through the midterm elections, we'll see things move along nicer. The economy still seems pretty strong. The Fed's trying to orchestrate this soft landing. We're hoping we're not going to go into a deep recession. So there are some signs out there. Again, as I mentioned during our last conversation, that it appears as though there's a lot of fear out there. Typically when that happens, that's usually when we're bottoming out. The capitulation has kind of been happening. So there's reasons to be optimistic. When you have a stock market that's down 25% on the S&P 500, we've got to go up over 30% to get back to where we were just 9 months ago. The NASDAQ being down 34%. We got to go up 50% to get back to just where we were 9 months ago. I feel very confident over the next 3 to 5 years that the NASDAQ could get back to where it was just 9 months ago. If that happens, we got to go up over 10%, 10 to 15% per year just to get back to where we were in our all-time high 9 months ago. So we are still very optimistic that the worst is probably behind us. We're probably going to start bottoming out here, and we're probably going to start moving, in the next few months. Hopefully, we'll start seeing things stabilize a little bit. So hang in there, as I said before, be patient. I know it's a tough, challenging time. All things considered, the accounts are holding up nicely. That's the good news. And we've been doing a lot behind the scenes. We've got a great team here that's staying very diligent and staying on top of things. But of course, if you need us, we're here for you. So my very best to you and your families. Look forward to seeing you at the client appreciation party. Have a great day and God bless.